How you doing, guys? Good evening. Good evening. How you doing, guys? How you doing, guys? Not particularly one of my happiest days today, but I wanted to just do this show because it was supposed to be done tomorrow, I think so, at 11. But I was like, you know what? Let me do this right now. I was supposed to be, I think, on Igau's channel, but he's rescheduled the show. That was a preview for the Prem. So I said, you know what, let me do this now so that at least tomorrow morning I can make myself go. I can go to the gym and have something to do. So let me welcome Veta and welcome Collins. How you guys doing?
Yo,
Thank you.
larger Patrick.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. So welcome,
Hi,
guys. So
Patrick.
is yeah, how you doing, Collins? Finally, we get to have you on. Every time you say Facebook, I kept on forgetting. I think you didn't really give me the full name, so I couldn't find you. So at least today, when you give me the full name, it was easier to find you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
No, you're welcome, man. You're welcome. So, this show is going to. It's not going to be that long, to be honest. It's just about Sergio Gomez and Phillips, the two players that seem to be getting a lot of stick from the fans. So, Colin says he wants to debate on this. So, I'm pretty sure I'm going to hear his side. Now, we're also going to hear Veta's side. But, guys, before we go in, just like the vid, okay, let's start off. Look, um, we're going to start off with Phillips. Phillips cost us about 40 million. Phillips was one of the best players at the Euros for England. I think he had a better Euros more than Declan Rice, and he was playing in a double pivot. He was playing more of the attacking in that midfield. And Phillips also, when he was playing for Bielsa at Leeds United, was playing as the long DM, and he was playing very well. He's a very good passer. He's very fast. I think the reason why Pep wanted him is because of the way he's faster than Rodri. He's more mobile than Rodri. Now, enter Man City, where he came in. Unfortunately, for someone like Phillips, this is just me as an intro. The rest of the guys have their opinion. Is he came in at a point where Rodri sort of snapped out of the fact that he's no longer just the DM next to Fernandinho. Fernandinho is gone, so he found Rodri at a very, very, very amazing stage where Rodri is the main man. Rodri has learned the Pep ways. Rodri has moved away from being slow or pressing very high, leaving space behind, sometimes being counted out of the game. So Rodri has learned the game and learned the Pep system. Now, if you talk about Rodri, when he first came to City, a lot of people wanted him out. I didn't want him out. I just criticized him for moving like a truck. I remember I used to call him Rodri the truck because when he's trying to move, sometimes he was too slow. When him and Gundogan are in that midfield, things were not pretty at all. Especially added Kelvin De Bruyne in that midfield. It was one of the slowest midfields you ever see. But you know what? Everybody deserves a chance and a season at Man City. After the first season, even the assistant coach from there said, we're trying to teach Rodri when to press and when to not press, when to sit and when to attack, when to start the attack, when to break up, when to win battles, because he's coming from Spain. The league is different. Now, come to this year, Rodri is undroppable. Everybody loves him. Now, going to Veta and Collins. a lot of fans I've seen online, and I've seen a lot of bad abuse towards Phillips. Some people say he has to be exchanged for Declan Rice at West Ham. Some people say he has to leave, and somebody went as far as saying maybe he has to retire and go home and continue eating kebabs. I don't know why that comment came about. Maybe because of the weight thing that Pep mentioned. So, what do you think, Veta? Because what makes me laugh with City fans is we are always top notch saying, let's give somebody a chance, let's give so and so a chance. And when we give them a chance, they do well because Pep's system is difficult to learn the first year. Why is that Phillips is not getting the same treatment?
Man, I don't know. I don't know. Like you said, we hear fans that say, give them a shot. Pep's obviously wanted them. The board's obviously wanted them. There's a reason why they're of quality and why we want them in the squad. And then to turn and to not have the patience for when they're having a rough patch or they're not quite getting it. Like we've been fans. We've seen this before. This is the thing that's crazy. We saw this with Mahrez. We saw Mahrez's first year with us. We saw this with Rodri. A better example with regards to Calvin Phillips. We saw Rodri come here, and every time we compared him to Fernandinho, and we were like, why did we get this guy? He's never going to be up for it. But you give the man time, and he shows. He shows his quality, he shows his class. Calvin Phillips didn't have the best start. Injuries set him back a little bit. And on top of that, if you're measuring him to do what Rodri does, he's always going to be like, you're always going to compare him and put him on the short end of the stick. But it's year one, and it's not even been a year yet. Like, let's remember how short-sighted we were with previous players, and at least give him the benefit of the doubt to get good moving forward. Because again, our scouting don't make mistakes like this, so we got to relax.
What about yourself, Collins? You said you wanted to debate on this matter. Are you part of the gang of saying Phillips is not good enough? We should move him on. You've seen enough. You've seen there's no desire. Maybe he doesn't really want to. He never really expected to be in a big team like this. Or you're saying he deserves a chance. He might improve, or you see no hope.
I think I think if we give him probably maybe a year or two, I think he might improve. But the problem is when I saw him playing at I think it was FA Cup, he looked like he's promising, but he looks like he's not interested. I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking, but going forward, like attacking he's good, but when it comes to defense, I mean he's not that aggressive like Rodri. But what I can say is that he is definitely quicker than Rodri. His passes are not that bad, but sometimes he misplaces his passes. So I think we should give him time, but I think it's still early. I mean, he hasn't played for a year, so we can't be harsh on him. Like, look what happened to Jack Grealish. He's not the best now, but he's far much better than I can say last year. So I think we should give him time.
Yeah, that's the thing though, because what makes me laugh is look. Sometimes I do certain things just for the jokes, but sometimes it makes me laugh because I remember when I was demanding more from Jack because obviously there was a difference because he was a 100 million player brought in, and let's be honest, people like saying it's not about the 100 million price tag. It is. I think it wasn't his fault that he was a 100 million player, but I think that's one of the things that we were expecting to see something for 100 million. But after Jack, to be honest with you, I understand the market he's screwed up. There's people like Anthony, you know what I mean? Like there's players that if you sit down, some of them are not worth that 100 million anymore. So I don't think we're gonna see Gareth Bale type stats or kind of games. We're not gonna see Ronaldo type of games for that 100 million, 80 million plus. These days, 80 million players are probably the players that could have costed like 15 million. So to me, a 40 million, very mobile, well matured in the Prem DM was a steal. I think let's be honest with Philip. If he didn't get injured, if we didn't go the time we were going, where Leeds United looked like they were going down, that's a 60 million player after the Euros and the way he was playing. So we were lucky to get him for 40. I think the only issue is the same thing as Rodri, where he's come in a team. There's already somebody who's playing very good, somebody who's the best DM in the world right now. That's my opinion. I know Arsenal fans who want to put in Partey. I know United fans who are twerking for Casemiro, want to put in Casemiro, and somebody want to put in Bruno Guimaraes, whoever they want. But at the end of the day, Rodri is doing the stable job and doing a very good job in this City team. And right now he's untouchable. And Phillips has come in. Yes, he had the issues with the weight thing. Maybe that's what brought him back. Maybe if he played the friendly games, he could have been registered for more games, come in for more games. But I just think he's reliable, and we're going to need him because I have seen times like the time when we were struggling against Chelsea, Gundogan and Rodri were struggling. Then when Phillips and Bernardo were subbed on, the midfielder was better, was faster, and they could have stopped counter attacks. Now, obviously, I'm telling this to City fans. Let's not pick who we give that 1 year extension to. Because it's becoming laughable. Collins, I'm pretty sure you agree with me because it looks like people pick who deserves the one because they love the individual. Because I have seen people fight for players saying, oh, they deserve 1 year. They deserve 1 year. We forget about Zinchenko, who we wanted gone. When he first came here, say, why is Zinchenko here? It's just excess. Then when Zinchenko got better, people were crying for him when he went to Arsenal. We've forgotten about the fact that Bernardo Silva came in his first season. He struggled. He was on the bench. We forgot about Sane, who we thought was a star boy. But when he came, I remember Sane was playing against Celtic, and he was played as a striker, first nine. Sane struggled. Sane struggled that season. 1 year after, Sane was a star. We have forgotten about all the players who came to City and did not do well that first season. People like Gundogan did well. Somehow they just slotted in. Diaz slotted in. De Bruyne was already here, but as soon as Pep came in, De Bruyne was De Bruyne. So this is what makes me laugh. So let's not pick who we give an extension to. Now, he is the most controversial player that I'm pretty sure, Collins, maybe this is the player you came in for. I'm going to start with you, Collins. So let's talk about my boy, the best left back in the league right now as we speak.
Come on, he's in the league player.
Sergio Maradona Gomez. So anyway, this guy was brought in by Pep and Chiki from the Belgium league. This guy was the second best player at the Under-17 World Cup and behind Foden. He could have won it if Foden wasn't amazing. This guy was one of the stars coming out of Spain, but according to his agents and relatives, apparently they set him to go to Dortmund too early. He didn't fit in Dortmund. He was a bit lost because obviously it was a new environment for a young guy. But when he went to Belgium, he was called the king of assists, and you can tell why he's the king of assists. You remember he assisted Haaland with a very good pass, something we haven't seen for a long time. Now, before I pass it to Collins and Veta, this is the reason why I back Gomez. People change in this team. They change so much. I remember Benjamin Mendy. He was a poor defender. I remember Benjamin Mendy, poor defender, but he could assist, and people were like, "Oh, that's why we want him. It's because he can assist." People have to remember this. Gomez is coming from a Belgium league. Gomez is 21 years old. He was bought for 10 million, 8 million, and he's hasn't even had a run. Yes, the games he's played, he's out of position. But guess who I saw out of position? Benjamin Mendy. And Benjamin Mendy was a more matured French starter, French defender. Let's not forget about Zinchenko, who was out of position one time and got a red card because he had to run back and dropped somebody in the floor. Let's not forget about Cancelo's first season where he was out of position, and somebody said, "Why did we buy this Cancelo guy? We have to bring back Danilo." Now, the funny thing is, I have noticed that, as I said at the beginning, people use a certain stick to just measure everybody. Now, apparently, Gomez is the worst signing City has ever made. I have seen worse signings. I have seen Timeke in this league. I've seen Mangala. Obviously, Mangala has got few moments, but everybody had a chance. So, Collins, let me ask you, why is that? Some people had chances. Some people like Mende. Some people like Zinchenko, who played at left back. Some people like what's his name? Cancelo had chances there and they've messed up. But the issue is Pep that time had no choice but to play them. There was no Ake or somebody who could play, so he played them until they got good. Why is that? They were given opportunity, and I remember people were saying Cancelo has to leave and Zinchenko has to leave. I remember people on Twitter. I wish I had tweets to bookmark, but why is that? People don't have that patience for an 8 million player, but they had patience like that for 50 and a 60 million player.
Yeah.
Patrick, we don't have enough time now. We're running out of time. We need the Champions League. We don't have time to experiment with Sunday League players like Gomez. I mean, come on.
Calm
I
down,
would,
calm down.
I would rather like I was never a fan of Zinchenko, but I would rather play Zinchenko any time of the day than Gomez. Like,
Yeah, but why though? Because that's the Zinchenko after how many years? 2 years.
yeah, but I mean, I mean, we've seen Gomez play, bro. I would rather even play Asbren than Gomez.
Ah, this guy.
I'm telling you, what have you seen with Gomez that is promising? Nothing.
Oh, okay, this is what I
The
have
guy's
seen.
not quick.
Uh,
The guy's not quick. He doesn't even have strength. Like, what is it that you like about him? I don't get it.
because I've watched him in that there's potential in this kid. I just look. This is, do you know what? That's what makes me laugh. You've told me that you'd rather bring back Zinchenko, but Zinchenko was horrible also in his first years. Yes, I get it. We don't have time, but let me ask you something. Right, this season has been very weird. I think that's the reason why Phillips is not looking great. This is what I want to say to the City fans. Right, we don't have time because people are saying this is crunch time. But this season, Pep hasn't given time to the French players. Yes, he's given them a few minutes, but we don't. Do you remember the times when players like Gomez, Phillips, Cole Palmer, 2017 season? It's because we played smaller teams. Remember that time, Collins? It's because we
Yeah, yeah.
never. Do you know what the issue is this season? We went straight to playing Chelsea. We went straight to playing Liverpool. We went straight to playing Arsenal in the league games. And then the
But
time when we played small teams, it was like almost like a quarterfinal. So I
but
think that's where. And you know what? Another thing is the issue with Gomez and a few other people is, especially Gomez, he never came the time when there was preseason. I
Right.
but
think so.
why is Pep not even playing him in cups like FA Cup and Carabao? He's not even playing him.
Yeah,
That's how.
because
No,
of
but
the
Gomez got
the,
a
the
shot.
strength
Remember,
of the.
guys. Sorry, remember, Gomez got a shot in Champions League, and he didn't show the most composure. He was a little reckless with that last tackle. He got that red. That's where a lot of the fan base were kind of like, I don't know if I can trust him. But again, it's year one, Champions League. Pep showed that he was going to play him in that situation. Let's calm down and let's
Gomez will
let,
never improve. I'm telling you guys. Gomez is the same as who was the defender that we had a defender that came from a development and he went to Barcelona. He was terrible. What was his name? He was a short guy.
Garcia. You're talking about
Like,
Eric Garcia.
they are on the same level. Both of them are on the same level.
So
Garcia was
so
terrible.
so you're telling me that because this kid did not come for preseason and everything. So you're telling me that you wouldn't let Gomez maybe do preseason and learn like how Zinchenko did.
If he do preseason or loan him, he won't come back. I'm telling you. I think it's just that we just recently signed him. Pep won't be harsh on him, but I'm telling you, we won't see him for the 2 years from now. You won't see him. We will loan him, and he will be done.
Yeah,
I'm telling
like
you.
what you have said is something somebody told me about Zinchenko. It's like this boy will be gone very soon, and we ended with Zinchenko. I'm telling you, you should just watch him. I think the reason why they brought him is there's a reason why they brought him, but I think he hasn't understood the system, and number two, he doesn't understand the league. This is what I
So,
think. I think he doesn't understand the league yet. But
so
I
do you
think
sorry? So do you think now us not having a proper left back, we would settle for Gomez?
not particularly, to be honest with you, Collins. You know yourself the issue with Man City. I don't understand why we find it very difficult to just lock down a left back. Do you get my point?
I don't get
Kolarov,
it.
okay, yeah. Like, look, we're not poor. Clichy, Kolarov were the last left backs. Like, it's not like we're a poor club. Like, we can't afford. Like, I was saying the other day that we I think it's Pep. I'm telling you, Collins. I think he like if you look at Gomez, I want you to go watch Gomez when you get time. Watch Gomez. I get why Gomez was brought in. I've noticed that unless there's a midfielder who plays like how Gomez was playing, where he can play like a CDM, he can play like a number 10. I think Pep doesn't want just a fullback. I think he just doesn't want a fullback. I think right now, yes, Ake is there giving him the job, but I don't think Pep is settling for somebody like Ake full time. You get what I
I,
mean? I
I
think
think
he wants a Rico Lewis. He wants like these Cancelos, the ones that are comfortable to just jump into midfield and distract them. I think for now it's the same as Fabian Delph. Pep is only playing what's his name Ake because Ake has understood the system, but Ake is good defensively, and Pep knows that right now at the time of the league, I need a defensive fallback. But I'm
Fabian
telling you,
Fabian Delph, Zinchenko, Gomez, they have the same traits. Going forward, they are good, but defensively, they are trash. With Ake, defensively, he's good. He's reliable. You know that when you have Ake at the back, I mean, you have a solid wall. But going forward, he's bad. He's not bad, but he's average. But I would rather have Ake defensively than going forward.
Yeah. So you see, go ahead, better.
I was just gonna say, I mean, to try to get into Pep's mind with what he's trying to do at that left back position is that's a long that's a long process. But I do agree with, let's have someone defensively sound first that shows the ability or proficiency to maybe go in an attack versus what he's been doing. Like I I'm hoping that the Cancelo type experiment player Pep's moving away from, because I think
Well,
we
you're
can
not
get a
comfortable with that.
no, I'm not comfortable with that because I'd rather get a little bit of offense from someone defensively sound than a lot more offense and the risk or the concern or the player that they're probably going to look to attack defensively. I don't like that. And hopefully he finds the right model, but the Cancelo type player, I don't think that's where Pep's going to be going. I hope not.
Yeah, I don't know. This is what I keep thinking. I think that's what he wants, though. He always wants to make the midfield. He wants to bunch the midfield, close it down, dominate the midfield, and I think that's why he likes Rico Ruiz and them. I think that's what he likes, and I think the only reason why Collins and Veta he threw away the two fullbacks tucking in is because we were ripped apart at Newcastle. Remember? I think
Yeah,
but I bet you in his head he will find somebody capable of
but
doing it.
But
I'm telling you,
you know what's
he'll
funny,
find it.
Patrick? You know what's
Mm.
funny is Esbrand is still on the bench. Esbrand still travels to some games.
Oh no,
So
S. Brown, he was thrown out, was sent on loan, but
he's
not
yeah,
on
sold.
he's on loan.
not sold exactly. So the thing with him is with his ability, because we saw defensively he was
Yeah,
good.
the kid was good. Come, and you know what? That pains me, Vet and Collins. S. Brand was balanced.
I
Every time
know
he came on, he
in the
could attack.
preseason, man.
He was physical. But come on, I'm telling you, this is why I'm
But
telling you, Collins and Veta. This man likes these Gomez, Cancelo, Lewis, these ballers. That's what he wants. That's what he wants. I'm telling you, he doesn't want these natural guys who are physical. I'm telling you, he wants style, skill. That's what he wants.
Well, Gomez better toughen up. I don't. I'm not saying that he needs to be sold. Like I know how you were joking with the thumbnail. These players need to leave, but Gomez just needs to toughen up. If
No,
he
no, no, no.
showed,
I didn't say they need to leave. Don't get me in
I
trouble
know.
here.
Okay, okay,
Look at
okay, okay.
this.
My bad, my bad.
I said
But
leave them alone.
but
This
but
man, this man is trying to hang me. Do you see, Collins? This man is trying to hang me. This man, this man.
you notice how I'm not on camera today. You're on your own with this one.
Yeah.
But no, I think if he toughens up defensively, because obviously we see, like you said, Pep sees what they do offensively, so that's what he wants. But if these guys can just be a little tougher defensively, continue to do what Rico Lewis does, because that's one thing we really don't doubt. We want Rico to get a little stronger. Yeah, he's a young man, right? He's only
Mm.
18. But in
And
terms
it's
of
possible for these guys because one is 18, one is 20, just 10, 21.
drift, yeah, it's there in them. So hopefully the emphasis is also
Let,
with the
let, let-
defense.
yeah, let's not forget Collins. You know, Lodi, who went to Nottingham Forest, the one we wanted before we were screwed over by 70 million price tag, and they sent him to Nottingham Forest. He struggled in 5 games when he came to
Mm,
this league. 5 games he struggled. He was getting skinned alive. I don't forget Riyad Mahrez removed his price tag to the floor, but it took him a few games. But the thing is, there's a difference, Collins, as you say. We don't have the time or actually to throw these kids in and see if they're gonna stick. It's either you stick in your first game. Even Palmer said it in his interview. I don't know if you guys read the Palmer interview. He said, "I know I haven't performed when I'm given a chance. So in this team, it's difficult for you to get a chance." You know what I mean? Like to
yeah.
be honest with you guys, I don't like when I see people. I should have added Palmer to this. I am heartbroken, Collins and Veta, when I see people who were twerking for Palmer, now they're saying Palmer has to leave.
no, Palmer is a good player. I've seen Palmer has more potential than Gomez. But the problem
Let go of that Gomez hate.
but the problem with Palmer is that I've seen him. He delays his pass and he over delays. But that's not a. I think you can coach him to be quicker with his skills. But
He's clinical though. That's what I like. He's very clinical. He doesn't waste time.
But with Palmer, definitely he has a potential. Unlike your man.
Now, but to be honest with you, like I don't know, do you but
While your
do you know
sleeping
what's
dad
do you know
called
what's
and wanted to
do
confirm
you
that.
do you know what's making me laugh though, Collins and Veta is I don't know if Collins you're watching my stream during that time. I used to tell people about Lavia, and people were telling me that no, Lavia is not good enough. I don't know if you heard about that. I think I was also an advocate for Lavia. Now
Patrick,
everybody's screaming Lavia. The thing about it is, Collins, whenever we have a youth in the club, I go and watch what they came up with. Lavia can play as a attacking midfielder. He can play as a defensive midfielder, and he can play as a centre back. He was played as centre back sometimes when company needs somebody, and he was young and people just saw him struggle in 2 games with City because he looked lost. You know, like those games when we're winning and Pep just throws in the kids while the seniors are there. You know what I mean? He looked lost in few games. People are like, "Oh, he's not good enough." Some of these guys were potential. I still think one day, just because I hate this Southampton manager, but even Southampton fans are not happy that Edozie is getting benched because when Edozie came in for 3 games in Southampton, people were so amazed. You saw what he did. He dribbled past players. He was creative. But I think one day we'll look at players. I wish Edozie could have gone to Dortmund. I think his price tag could have gone up. These Lavias, these Esperons, I think these are guys who I think there's potential. It's just unfortunately, I think the manager looked at them and that's not his style of player. I don't know if you get where I'm coming from, but Lavia now is proving to make us look silly because if you look at Lavia, he looks like a Pep type player. You get my
I mean,
point?
Patrick, I remember 2 years back, I showed my cousin Lavia's clips when he was still
Oh,
in youth team, and I
yeah.
told him that this boy is going to be a good player. And I was disappointed when he came into the first team and then we sold him after like 3 games or so. Like I was disappointed.
Yeah, that's the issue, Collins. It's the thing is people forget that these players. Do you see Lavia, right? He was given a chance. Here he was given a chance, but he played those games. But sometimes at City, I have noticed some of these kids are just thrown in those games. They never have a run of games, and boom. Some people like Foden, they'll be given 10 minutes, they'll do amazing stuff. You get it, but not everybody is Foden. You get my point? Not everybody is a Sancho, because Sancho was also like that. I remember at the academy, he could ball when he comes from injury, he could come in and ball even for England under 21. But some players are not like that. These Phillips, these Gomez, even though you don't like Gomez Maradona, Sergio Maradona Gomez. So these players, all they need is time. But the thing is, as you said yourself at the beginning, time is never there at City because Pep is under pressure to win trophies. But anyway, let's welcome my good friend Pitch Points. How you doing, Pitch Points?
Good afternoon. You guys are a breath of fresh air in my busy day. Good afternoon.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I was telling Vet I haven't had a very lovely day myself, but I said let me do a bit of therapy by coming online and doing something. Anyway, we were talking about Sergio Gomez, and we're talking about Phillips. What is your thoughts yourself? Collins and Veta have given the 2 cents. Veta thinks that these both players need time, and he thinks Gomez maybe it just needs to get physical and learn how to be physical, and maybe he will do well because he says there's potential. Collins says Gomez is a Sunday League player and thinks he should be sold. So, what is your thought yourself?
Phillips needs time. Phillips needs a run of games. Phillips needs to get in rhythm. Phillips needs to understand the system. Phillips needs to step up his performance. And he only does that by playing more games. Right? Phillips has been injured for the most part of the season. The game he went to the Barcelona, his shoulder was dislocated. He came back to the World Cup was happening, didn't play. He hasn't had game time. Okay, so it's no surprise that Phillips is off balance. You can't not play for 8 months and then expect him to do a miracle. So he needs time. With Gomez, I think he needs a change of position. I do not think that Gomez is good enough to be the championship left back for a club like ours. It's not his natural position. It's not his natural DNA. And it's unfair to him to expect him to play for the champions of England as a left back in all 4 competitions. It's not going to happen, right? So for him, there are 2 choices. Either he becomes a midfielder and subs in once in a while, or he becomes a left winger and comes in once in a while, or he goes along to Girona. But it's not fair on this kid who won the World Cup with Foden, who came second in the World Cup with Foden, second best player in the World Cup that year, to now convert him to a left back because he played left back for Vincent Kompany at Anderlecht. Anderlecht and City in the Premier League are not the same level. So for me, he needs to change his position or he needs to go out on loan to Girona. With Phillips, it just needs time. He'll come back.
That's the thing, isn't it? That's another option because you remember do you remember the assist he gives for him to be named the king of assists in Belgium? I think that's something we also miss in the team. Because do you remember how he found Haaland in that game where he came in 2 minutes and found Haaland and Haaland scored? I think none of our wingers play like that. None of our wingers do that.
No, none of our wingers do play like that because our wingers are inverted. They're not going to cross the ball with speed and accuracy that he has because he's on his natural left foot. So that's going to end up happening.
Would you think that's why maybe he's being kept around? That maybe though, because I have a feeling that I was telling Collins, I was like, the reason why Gomez is being liked by a thing is maybe because he's Spanish, but the thing is there's potential. This kid was one of the wonder kids at the World Cup and one of the wonder kids, and his agent said the only reason why he didn't work out at Dortmund is he was too young and he didn't really like the environment. You know what I mean? And then he ended up going to Belgium. But if you look at him as a player, I think you can utilize him somewhere. I think more in the attack.
Yeah, maybe he just wasn't good enough for Dortmund. You know, while we want him to be at that level, maybe he's not just at that top level. As a left back, maybe as a midfielder, maybe as a left winger, but not as a left back.
For Spain, it's quite funny, Collins. Have you seen him? Do you know for Spain he plays as a right winger or left winger?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Prof. They are saying it's unfair for us to play him as a left back. But I mean, if you move him to a CDM or a midfield, I mean, imagine he's gonna play against probably Gundogan while we still have him, Bernardo Silva. Maybe Jude, if we sign him, I mean, when is he going to play? Going to take him forever. I mean, it's difficult for him. The only thing that we can do is loan him, which I doubt he's going to come back.
Yeah, we'll see anyway. We'll see. Look, it will decide this summer. If we see that he's been sent on loan, I'm pretty sure we will know. Because I remember there was players like Pablo Maffeo. Remember? Pablo Maffeo, very skilled right back. And I think Pablo Maffeo deserved more, but I don't understand what happened. I think when Pep gave him that offer that I'll play a few games, he wanted full games, so they sent him. But we'll see. Let me see the comments first. Lucas says, hi, how you doing? Daniel says, I see something in Gomez, but defensively he's just not good because because all his career he was an attacking midfielder or winger. That's true. Phillips will never start ahead of Rodri. No way. He's even older than Rodri. I'm not saying start ahead, but you never know, isn't it, Carl? You never say never with players. Sergio Gomez is the baller. I will still believe in Gomez because he is a City fan. City fan tax, but my patience is limited. Okay. I forgot Phillips played for City. I want to see him in England top. Go ahead.
The problem is not Sergio Gomez. The problem is at the levels at which we expect our players to play at. Okay, that's the problem. It's not. We're not. With all due respect.
Kaka, was I wrong to say, because I was telling Collins that Sergio Gomez, Maximo Peron have sort of come in at the wrong time. They came in at a time where
Maxi is different though.
Yeah, but do you remember the times? What I was about to say is I was telling Collins that do you remember the times when we played Carabao Cup and we played the FA Cup? We played easier teams, but this time both of these guys, even Phillips himself, they came in where it's Chelsea, Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal. You know what I mean? You're right. You can't really play them, and then after that, it's pressure for Pep now because at least in the past, Collins and Carl, we were top of the league, or there was a bit of hope, but now we are also fighting for the league. You know what I mean? Fighting for the Champions League. They've come in even at the point where the group stages have been played. So the dead rubbers, they were not there to play the dead rubbers.
That's a fair shot. That's a good analysis right there. But the question for me is, looking at Gomez where he is right now, is he a top level left back? He's not.
No. To be honest with you, Carl, if you try to list top left backs, even Shaw is not great, even though they hype him. What's happened to left backs, Collins and Carl? What has happened to left backs?
It's very simple now. Left-footed players are scarce. That's why. How many left-footed players do you know in the world? There are very few of them, right? And most of them are not.
The only name that comes to my head who looks great is Davis. That's it.
Yeah,
Davis,
and
Alfonso Davis.
technically he's actually Feta will tell you he's actually a left winger. That's where he
Yeah,
started.
he's a left winger. Yeah, he
Yeah,
is.
yeah, yeah. So I'm going to rejoin the show. I'm going to get in my car, rejoin the show back. So just give me 5 minutes, okay?
Yeah, go ahead, man. Go ahead. So, Mason Greenwood, the bad guy, coming back to you, Man United. Okay, relax yourself, man. It's really simple to understand why Pep doesn't want a natural fallback, because we don't play that way. Get this overlapping fallback thing out of your head. 3-2-2-3 is the formation he wants. Okay, so as we are waiting for uh for Carl Collins, I'll ask you one more thing. So you've given Phillips 1 season, right? Next season, and then you're like, if it fails, goodbye.
No, not really, Patrick. I mean, I've seen him play. When was his last game? I think
He to be honest with you, man, he played for England. I wasn't impressed. He needs to do more.
he needs. That's what I'm saying. He's playing for us, he looks like he's not even wanna be there. I've seen it,
Do you think maybe it's a mental thing, that whole weight thing, coming to City? You remember Jack said the same thing, that I came to City and I was a bit starstruck.
It might be a mental thing, and because he thought that he might be a regular player, but he's not. But I think I think it's frustrating for him not to be a regular player. But I think also my problem is he's an injury prone, so you can't even play him like 4 games. That's the issue with him. I mean, I don't get him. But after a season or two, I think he should leave. But he should leave. I mean, we don't have time. Imagine if we buy a player like Jude, what's gonna happen to him? Is he gonna play?
Yeah, but Phillips, I think is more here for Rodri. Jude, I think, will be more here as an attacker. You know what I mean? If Jude ever comes, big up, Chris. How you doing, Chris? You know what? I should have also spoken. What's your thought yourself, obviously, on Maximo Peroni? He was called for Argentina. Obviously, he didn't play for Argentina, but he was still called for the first team of Argentina.
I was going to ask you because I've never seen Maximo Peroni play. I think I remember this other time watching your stream and you guys were talking about him. So he got like few minutes and he looked good. Not the best.
He's to be honest with you, he was supposed to be the Enzo Fernandez replacement at Benfica.
So, but I've never seen him play. I don't want to lie to you, but
no, just watch a few videos. But at the end of the day, Carl was watching him during because he played against Alvarez's and Enzo's team when they were doing some qualifications, and he bossed the midfield. I think he was man of the match. The kid was a captain when he was young. So, man, like, to be honest with you, I people sometimes they have to look at talent. If Benfica wanted to buy this Maximo Peron to replace Enzo Fernandez, who people were twerking for, including ourselves, there is potential. City, basically what they've done is they've gone and got the guy who was going to be the next best thing from Argentina.
And he's not even on the bench. I mean, like
I think the last games there was something. I think must have been a personal thing because he's been on the bench in most games. It's the last games. I think maybe there was, how sometimes they give these people time to go and find a house with their family. I think it was just a personal thing or somewhere because later on he was called for Argentina. But I think, look, I think these kids are the future of Argentina. Alvarez, Maximo Peron. I think you will see them in that Argentina team because getting called for Argentina is not easy, even if you sit on the bench.
But I wish Pep can give him like a game time, like even with the game that we won.
What's that game that's coming? Sheffield United, isn't it?
With teams like that. I mean, if we are winning 3-0, I mean, why not give him a run? I think we deserve a chance. I think I would rather give him a chance than your guy.
Oh my God. Man, I don't know. Who else we have in the team? Obviously, we've spoken about Palmer. Obviously, I think just deserves time. He got injured, so he deserves a lot of time. What about this? Look, we're here anyway. Let me ask you, what about this keeper situation? What's your opinion? Because some people are going hardcore on Edison. Do you think Ortega has to be the number one?
When like I've said it many times, we were lucky with the last game. Edison should have got a red card, but I don't think he's a good keeper, to be honest with you. When was the last time have you seen Edison saving a penalty? Have you ever seen Edison saving a penalty? I've never seen it.
Yeah, he has few times, but I think his best season was the 2020 season was the best for him. I think so.
The last time when he saved the penalty, I mean, he has considered a lot of penalties, but I don't recall him saving a single one of them. He's
Yeah.
terrible.
Yeah, but I don't think it's as bad as people say, you know. I think it's just that the system we play, sometimes when somebody breaks it, we get exposed. But, you know, big up to him anyway. Look, I'm going to end the stream. I know Carl saying is coming back, but this is for the 3 minutes. Collins, thanks for coming in. Guys, like the vid. That was just about Gomez and Phillips. Obviously, a lot of people say, oh, Gomez and Phillips should leave. I was just reminding people that we've given 1 year to most of the players. Bernardo Silva, a lot of players. Sane, Jack Grealish, we gave him 1 year. And Phillips and Gomez are not as expensive. Let's give them a year and then say maybe they should leave if they don't do well. I'm pretty sure if Pep looks at Phillips and Gomez in preseason and he's not happy, I'm pretty sure we'll be seeing somebody coming in. But anyway, guys, that's the stream. I don't know when I'm going to do the Liverpool stream. It's a very busy week, to be honest with you. I don't know. I'm not sure when I'm going to do the Liverpool stream, but I'll try. But after the Liverpool game, I'm off to work, so I don't know. I'm going to do the reaction on Sunday, probably before Veta Games show at 9 o'clock. But guys, thank you very much. If you want any shows we can do as a panel, please let me know in the comments, guys. And again, as always, guys, have a lovely weekend. Look after yourselves. Hopefully, we beat Liverpool at the Etihad. Unfortunately, Haaland is injured. And I don't know if he trained. I'm not sure. I haven't seen any pictures. But Alvarez is back in training. I'm pretty sure Alvarez can do the job. The only fortunate thing for me, Collins, I'm worried about is Foden, Alvarez, Foden, Haaland, Alvarez are our top goal scorers. Now Foden and Haaland is not there. So some of our goals are gone, coins. Are you concerned? Let's just talk about it now. Yeah, you know what? Let's talk about the Liverpool game right now. So are you concerned? Are you concerned for the fact that Foden is not there and is our second top goal scorer, and Haaland is not there, who's our top goal scorer? Who's gonna score the goals for us on Saturday against Liverpool at 12:30 UK time?
I don't know, but maybe Haaland might be available because yesterday I saw some articles saying he's back in training. I don't know, maybe if it was old news or what, but for the fact that we're playing home, I'm not worried about any injuries. I think we should be good. I mean,
Okay.
yeah. I think
What about? Okay. What about yourself, Carl? Just to touch on a bit on Liverpool.
Yeah. Well, all day I've been asking questions in our WhatsApp group, right? My question was very simple. Haaland, De Bruyne, and Foden have scored over 80% of the goals for us this season. We don't have Haaland. We don't have Foden. We have Alvarez, which is great. Are we relying on Jack Grealish to get those goals in the final third in this game? Because what will end up happening is that De Bruyne will not carry the burden of getting goals when we're supposed to have a winger out there. Which I keep asking this question. People talk about, oh, he's control, he does this. I'm like, okay, fine. But he doesn't get goals. I want goals.
I think that's what's missing from his game.
Yeah, and so he cannot be world class because he doesn't have he's not in the position he plays, he doesn't have the complete package yet. He doesn't have it. Which is why I am worried. Which means that Alvarez and De Bruyne have to shoulder the burden of the goal scoring on Saturday. Yeah, that's the reality. Or unless Mahrez becomes, Ramadan Mahrez, where he can score goals. But those three are the ones
It
who
is
are going to
Ramadan,
goals.
and it is Ramadan.
Yeah. So if we're expecting Jack to get goals on Saturday, it ain't happening. Unlikely. Now, if he does get a goal, good for him. But
hopefully, he proves you wrong and scores a hat.
I hope so. I hope so. I will be happy.
Now, anyway, we'll see when we do the preview. Any last words, Collins, before we move out?
I just hope Pep is playing man games, but I don't even understand how did Holland get them injured, because when we left, I mean, the last game he was fine, and then suddenly he went to training.
Yeah, the trainings were great, and all of a sudden, from nowhere, groin injury.
I think they were just being cautious. They didn't want him to play international so that he won't come back with an injury.
We'll see anyway. He's not training anyway, so we'll see the pictures tomorrow and we'll hear from Peps in the press. Anyway, guys, thank you very much. As I said, we'll see what time. I'll try to set up with Carl what time we can do the Liverpool preview. But after the game, I'm not going to be available because after the game, I'm going straight to work. So if we're doing the reaction will be on Sunday. So anyway, thank you very much, guys. As I say, I appreciate you guys being here. I appreciate you coming on. Collins Better Games. Go subscribe to his channel. Pitch Points, guys. Go subscribe to Pitch Points. I appreciate you, Carl. I appreciate everybody, guys. Like the video on your way out. Subscribe if you're new. Thank you very much, guys. Enjoy your day. I'm just going to leave you out with a bit of a song.